Hey, marijuana traders. It is Friday, November 27th. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. And in today's video, we're going to discuss CRON's Golden Cross that just formed. And I do want to bring up the algo alert that went off. So we had an alert back on November 2nd. It basically triggered saying price at 568, entry long and stop below 489. Target was $7 to $8. And just bringing up the CRON chart here. Show you from November 2nd. So that's when it triggered around 560s and we hit a low of 544. So again, if you set your stop around the 487 or 480s, you would have made a solid 50%, 60% gain. And the target was $7 to $8. So that hit perfectly. We also had another alert go off, a buy price of $7.60 to $8. Looking at today, we hit a low of 763. So you would have entered off of that support at 760, like the algo had mentioned. You would have been up over 10% today. We're seeing Canadian MJ catch a bid here. Overall, MJ catching a bid, the US as well. You can see that we are up on Trulieve. Let me just bring that up here for you folks. We did get close to the all-time high. Actually, we did set a new all-time high today at 37.75 and we started to pull back, but obviously catching a bid across the board. And CRON, taking a look at CRON on the weekly, we're above the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD is blasting off very bullish. And like I said, we have that golden cross that has formed with the 50 crossing through the 100 and the 200-day moving average. So like I said, expecting a huge move, and we have a target price of $9 to $11. So stop was below 764. So if you made an entry today at 760, and you would have been instantly in the profit essentially, and you could have set your stop at 764 or below 760, and you'd be in profit today. So again, we're looking at the MACD crossing bullish here on the daily. We have the golden cross, and we have resistance up at 881. So just taking a look at some other cannabis names, we have Hexo popped as well, was up 10% there at one point, hit a high of 87 cents essentially. And just zooming into the 5-minute volume, you can see here that the MACD is increasing. We are 5-minute overbought. We filled that gap from this morning, gapped and goed. So classic example of filling the gap. Gap ups are usually for selling, but there wasn't really much of a gap up here today in most of these names, but we did fill that gap and go, and seeing some increasing bull volume, and we haven't consolidated here on this move. So we've run about 10% without any 5-minute consolidation. So once we break the low of the previous candle, that will signify that 5-minute consolidation is underway, and we'll look for a 5-minute higher low compared to 78.58. CRON saw some increasing bull volume. Looks like 5-minute consolidation is already underway. CGC has yet to begin its 5-minute consolidation. APHA, notably the strongest technical bull in the Canadian space, and this is why it's up from the daily higher low, up about 25%. And Aurora, leading the move up here today, has yet to start 5-minute consolidation. And keep in mind that today is a shortened day, so we only have about 20 minutes left of the trading day in the US. Canadian markets will remain open until regular trading hours, so we'll be done at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Canadian side. But that's where we stand. Keeping an eye on CRON here, we're going to be looking at resistance at 881, and for resistance after 881, we have 1056. So we could see an explosive move here into the end of the day. Congrats to the bulls. And personally, I'm holding some Hexo, some CRON, and a few other MJ positions as well. But my biggest position is in Hexo and CRON at the moment, and don't plan on selling those anytime soon. We also saw that there was some news today regarding weed at the bar. So the tourism industry wants Ontario pot venues to open by the spring. So essentially you can read this article on your own, but essentially they go into discussing, and you can see that 83% of people would like it to be sold and consumed at public venues. But essentially they want this to be possible by the spring, but they don't really know exactly how they're going to roll that out, how it's going to work, how they're going to be able to isolate it from alcohol. So right now everything is completely separate. So alcohol has its own store, weed has its own store. So if they can find a way to make it work, maybe it's certain areas of the bar where you have to enter to consume cannabis. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how these laws and regulations start to ease. If they do start to ease, obviously Ontario is a huge market and they're starting to expand their retail footprint as well. So looks like a lot of positive catalysts in the future, and the Canadian sales and revenues of cannabis sales are at all-time highs, and it's looking very, very bright for the cannabis sector as a whole. We have Biden potentially entering the office and pro-marijuana decriminalization and legalization, and I really do think it's going to play a big important factor in the economic recovery in the United States and around the world. So I hope you found this video valuable today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. Hope everyone has a great rest of your trading day and a great weekend. Take care, and we'll talk to you on the next one.